The parts of war we don't know. Because we're kept in the dark about all of it, of course. And we are not trained to see and understand and comprehend exactly what's happening here. Because that which was supposed to be subject to us, we are now subject to. So I'm going to post again the link below to the video I'm watching that triggered this revelation, this divine awareness of what is really happening when it comes to war and lands and principalities. Because we're conditioned to take things at face value. This is our president, this is the face, this is his personality, this is what we can expect from him. We voted for him because of these qualities he emulates that reflect our will for ourselves and our country. So that's how we communicate and we relate, and our president is sending our children out to fight and die to achieve shared mutual goals. And then something changes, something's not right. The same man is there, but he's flipping the script. He's becoming something else. Trump was voted in for state independence, and now he's putting forth the federal ID. How? Why? What on earth? So I'm listening to the explanation of how the bear is typically representative of the Persians, but now it's the Russian mascot. In out of the corner of my awareness in the peripheries, and California's as well, and that coast is awfully close to Russia. Okay. The spirit, the angels over the Persians infiltrated and conquered. So now, put that on hold. This is the example. Noah's grandsons, each was allotted a part of the earth. The whole earth was covered. It was assigned. Noah's grandsons. One of them liked a spot in his brother's or cousin's allotment better. Says, brother, can I just settle over here? I don't want to settle there in my allotment. It's not the worst. It's not bad. I was happy I got it. But this, I'd rather be here. It's closer to you all. It's, Oh, okay, brother. Go ahead. So he abandons his allotment. He uses all the resources over here. It gets overcrowded, whatever, and he wants to go back to his rightful inheritance. But it's occupied. Now he's a foreigner who cannot go back to his rightful inheritance because it's claimed, it's occupied. So now he has to go to war to get back what was his and he lost. And these men drive me crazy, especially in Southern California. You see them in very rural areas. You see it in narcissists and abusers. They leave something at your house and you're like, get your stuff out. They're like, no, I'll come get it when I want it. You said I could, have it there. I moved it. I'll come back when I'm ready. That gives them a right in their mind to invade your space anytime they want it. You start a new relationship. You have somebody new in the house, visiting. You're having a quiet time. He becomes aware of it. He decides that's the time he's going to come argue for his stuff. But No. He didn't bring the right vehicle to haul it. We know these people. We have angels over us with these qualities. So, for example, we have Africa. China is building infrastructure there for resources to be shipped out. So it's building roads to the coast and bridges and stuff so that it can avail itself of Africa's resources, the metals, that it mines out of there and stuff. And at the same time, the United States is sending money over there to establish its own businesses and get cheap labor, make products from the resources available, and capitalize on the people. But a spirit comes in, the original spirit over these people maybe, and starts whispering to their young ones, mixing the ancient wisdom, the genetic memory of the older ones. And the second the United States says, we stop funding, the African leader stands up and says, last time this happened, we became all the stronger. Good. We're building our armies. We're building our walls. We don't want you here. Don't come back. As a matter of fact, we want all foreign powers out. And then what happens? Those seeds of intelligence that were planted, they're inventing free energy for their people, systems for growing and sustaining and maintaining crops in places that were made deserts by all these minings and these wars where they would just pollute the land, pour salt on it so nothing will grow in the dirt, regaining their inheritance, their people. And so we've seen in the United States, Trump comes in to rescue us from the left wing people who want to biologically corrupt the human form, spiritually corrupt the human form. That spirit had infiltrated, it was taking over. And Trump is the big hero to save us from this overlord spirit. But he's not really working possessed by a different spirit. No, this one comes in, and why do you think Trump is making friends with all of the totalitarians? North Korea. Are you kidding me? Yeah, they've got a peaceful country. They can walk their streets. Not a darn crime's gonna be committed. Their people are tortured, half starving so that they can't rise up, kept in ignorance, abused, population controlled to the nth degree. Qatar, Arabia. Good on them. They hunt down the jinn. There's no magic practices whatsoever. There are no competing spirits in the people governed by this principality, by this prince, over the Muslim people and the Arabic people. And so they're joining forces, or have they taken possession of Trump and are now using him to further their agenda? And this is all tied in with Muslims being of Ishmael and supposing to become Israel's greatest protectors, the strong arm, the mighty warrior, to protect Israel. what is going to rise up? What spirits are underneath working that change things like that? Wars will turn on a dime. Unexpected. China's already infiltrated the United States, in case you hadn't noticed, through Jeff Bezos buying up all the land. China owns big chunks of farmland through companies and organizations and trusts, and it is just the spirit to be self-possessed and guard the spirits that we let in our life. And that is why the princes of the air were supposed to be guarding the spirits of their people, but instead it was just like, a bunch of mafiosos sitting around the card table gambling these people. Oh dang, that's okay, that one was just a whore. But that whore was a witch, and she's coming in and she's polluting everybody. You think you stole something valuable. You stole a sleeper agent. Oh, did you destroy that person? Oh, well, we had one of your spirits trapped in that body. Like the Queen of England. They accidentally recorded so other people can hear, talking about the Queen's body, how the dead is, her death is not reversible, but the spirit is trapped in that dead body. That's why mummies, people. That's why they were buried and insulated. There were curses if you opened this tomb and you set free the spirit trapped in that mummified body. That's what people are doing. They're breaking open the tombs. They're releasing spirits into the world that have been imprisoned by other spirits. They're going back. They're wreaking vengeance. The spiritual world is just in complete and utter, at war. It is all out war, and it's being reflected in the people. And it's only the spirits who control the greatest amount of people and know their agenda that can be, effective in doing anything. For example, Ukraine used to be the capital of Russia. Let's just say, maybe, I don't have the documentation, I don't have the proof, but I'm getting the sense of what happens. And so this could be what happened. So the Persians, the bear spirit, takes over Russia. The spirit that was in possession of Russia is is now conquered. They could try and destroy or imprison that spirit, or they could say, that's your capital. You can have this little country. You could call it the Ukraine. Under one condition, you don't join forces with those people. You remain subject to our shared principles, religion, way of seeing things, doing things. You keep it cool. You could have Ukraine all to yourself. Be independent. Just don't become a member of that world organization. Don't let the Westerners in. But that little spirit says, they're so powerful. This one took away all of my inheritance. All of it. I want more. I'm not satisfied being a prisoner confined to this little allotment. That's why they're willing to sacrifice their own people. Because they're hoping to get these guys to go after the one that conquered them, and they can get all that back. But this is pairing up with China and North Korea to keep their block, their way of doing things, their totalitarianism intact. And now the United States was conquered, a conquering spirit that therefore is allowed to inhabit, govern, and control Trump, who is not worried, not sweating, because he's got all of this already. That spirit is already in possession and in alliance with other spirits with common values. And yeah, there's technology that can control and influence the weather, but these spirits can do it too. It depends on which gifts they have. According to Jewish tradition, that's what I learned when I was studying about keys. So this is just another fascinating tidbit that comes out of Jewish tradition, our history that we've been deprived of, awareness, familiarity with the ways of our God. They may not identify him as an actual deity with a personality. Doesn't mean we can't. Okay, so the keys. So in the Talmud, it is said, Yahuwah Elohai never entrusts to any angel the keys of rain, childbirth, resurrection of the dead, and in Palestinian tradition, they call it the Western tradition, nourishment, the food supply. So these angels may have keys over other, like fire, wind, but not rain. And so man has to be given to create the technology to do it himself, bypassing the keys of Yahuwah Elohai, of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, God of the living. Interesting. And so this is how we also know other spirits, they can do healing, but the resurrection of the dead, only Yahuwah Elohai of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, God of the living, has that. And if he chooses to give it to someone, such as Yahusha, his son, who he's going to entrust the entirety of his kingdom to, that is how we know it is our Creator, it is the living God that is being represented here. Hallelujah. Look at the gifts we can receive when we choose to compassionately understand, to accept, to share, to not judge, be prejudiced, to see the value into it, in everything. Now you know. If they're raising the dead, that is the key given to them by Yahushua Elohai of Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, the God of the living himself. Because he don't hand it over to no angels. There's no intermediary other than his son, Yahusha. Look what I got from just researching my dream and looking towards Hebrew, looking to his people who he preserved to preserve this understanding for us. Pray for and protect them. Pray for and protect them. Giving thanks for them. Totally the right thing to do. Totally. And I need to move this hand and move this energy too, because I'm only ever moving my right hand. Door. Ooh. Just. This is beautiful. I love this. This is where I thrive. Like, spirit in me is just burning up everything else right now. Like, transfer. I probably got purple energy, just if anybody were to be able to see my etheric field. Like, awesome. So, yes, what we don't know about war and how to read signs and interpret dreams. The Israelites knew. And we get to glean from that. We get to glean from their fields. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I'm going to go sing Amazing Grace for a while, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I think so.